welcome to another episode of the KFace podcast. My name is Geoff Ramsey. With me, as always, the other people. This is episode 166. How's everybody doing?
Nick, are you a movie guy? You love movies? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
We had to wait a week for that answer.
Yeah.
We did. We had to wait a while, but I got it. I got to the bottom of it. We're just talking about summer 98 movies. I was just curious how many people had seen. I wasn't sure if you were a movie guy or not.
Big movie guy. I need to look through the list, though, of all the 98 stuff.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we found out that I'd seen 10 and Geoff had seen
24, I believe.
24.
I counted it was like 18 or 19.
Wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of summer of 98, I Googled summer of 98 just to see what would come up. There was a book created, written called Summer of 98. When Homers Flew, Records Fell, and Baseball Reclaimed America by Mike Lupica. It was, I guess, about when Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa were having this steroid off to hit the most illegal home runs.
Well, have you seen what's happening next year?
No.
The Creed show.
Oh, right.
Summer of
Creed is
99.
doing Summer of 99 with
Yeah.
Three Doors Down. What?
So they acknowledge that this is summer of 98 and they don't
Yeah.
want to step
They
on our
must.
toes.
They're not
Ipso
stepping on
facto, vis-a-vis, they must.
So does that mean if if the summer of 98 stuff goes well, does that mean that next year we have to do the summer of 2000 because the summer of 99 has been covered?
Oh, we're like trading off?
Well,
Yeah.
no, because the Summer of 99 will be next. Also, that doesn't make any sense. Why are they doing it in April if it's Summer of 99?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Wait.
At least
I
we
don't
waited
know.
till summer.
Yeah.
Huh.
No,
That's
I
odd.
think we still have to cover. I think if we feel good about Summer of 98 again, which I truly do believe is like the last good year, then we got to do Summer of 99.
You know what?
Okay.
You're really winning me over. And this realization that 98 was the year McGuire broke the record is pretty crazy. I had forgotten that. And it's the year I got out of the Army.
Wow.
Good year.
Yeah, it was the year I moved back to Austin and met Gus and Bernie. So you take the good with the bad, I guess.
We're like firmly out of the steroid era of baseball, right? At this point, or is it still?
I mean, we're in the hidden steroid era of baseball.
Okay.
If that's what you mean.
So it's safe
If you're
to
a Padres
assume-
fan, the not so hidden era
All
of
right.
steroids.
Okay. He had ringworm or whatever.
Yeah.
tainted supplements. I just know, like in the NFL, it doesn't happen often, but it's like the tests are so obvious you can work around it. I wasn't sure what like baseball's regulations were.
It's the same.
What percentage of home run balls do you think are tainted? Are steroid balls?
At this point, I don't know if it's a majority, but it's probably got to be pretty close.
Has to be a lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one would, if you caught like one of McGuire's balls, would that change your opinion on it? Learning like post steroid, like in a pre-world where people realized, or was it always known? Like how common was the knowledge of steroid usage in baseball during the like McGuire record setting?
Dude, there was a period in time where Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, and Mark McGwire all doubled in size.
Yeah.
Barry Bonds, from where he ended up to where he started in the league, is a different human being.
Yeah.
In a way that is like,
Hard to understand.
yeah, it's really,
Naturally.
really crazy. And I think a lot of it has to do with like his head size. I mean, like his head got so big.
Oh,
It looked
wow.
like his head in that first photo is inside of a helmet. The photo of his head in the second part on the right, it looks like he has the helmet on. It's so big.
He looks like when Pac-Man would eat the power-up pellet.
Yeah.
He like gets larger. That's what it looks.
I know that, like, you know, there's growth and there's time, but it's just like,
That is wild.
I think it was also very known with guys like Canseco and a bunch of that. So like it was a pretty, I would say, open secret. And then I think like the government got involved, and that's when it was like, oh, can you believe this? And everyone goes, yes, we believe it. And that's
Yeah.
Like he could be inside of what he became. You know, like in Men in Black, where like they reveal like the little alien inside the human. He could just be that. He could just be inside himself. That's crazy. I didn't know how much he doubled.
Men in
in all
Black,
ways.
summer of 97.
Yeah, should we go forward or backwards? Do you think we should do 99 or 97 if we like how 98
I mean, we don't have to be linear with it. We could pick summer of 2006 if we want to next.
That's fair. That's a good point.
There's no, I mean, this was summer 98 was an well, it wasn't arbitrary, but I mean, it doesn't have any like mathematical tie to 2023.
Sure.
Summer of 06, I went to Akon in Dallas.
Yeah.
I was there.
I met.
How was that?
I met Chewbacca. I got a picture with him.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was a real picture too.
As opposed to a fake one?
Well, they like printed
As
it and
opposed to
gave
a
it to me.
digital one.
Oh,
Yeah.
they print. Did you have to pay extra for the print?
Oh, I'm sure I did. And because of that, I don't know where it is anymore. But it happened.
I was about to ask if you still have it, but I guess not.
I got it somewhere. I just have no idea where.
Oh man. Hey, I'm looking at the Vegas notes, Gav, and I have one I don't understand. I wrote down Gavin's driver. What is that? Does that mean anything to you?
My driver.
Your Uber driver with Jack.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're just very different people, Jack and myself.
Ah.
He had a conversation with our driver that didn't stop for the entire ride from the airport to the
Oh.
hotel. It was like 25 minutes of just incredibly loud conversation.
Did you feel pressure?
Yeah. I felt like, oh, now I should be chiming in. But usually
Yeah.
I would sit down and be really quiet and be like, yeah, this hotel, thank you.
Really?
And then not really say anything.
In your experience, because you use a lot of Uber drivers, are they typically quiet?
Yeah.
Really? See, I've had the exact opposite. I've been in, and my Uber experience is being in a car and them immediately initiating conversation, and then me getting annoyed with the other people I'm in the car with that they're not saying a word, and I'm having to talk to this
You're
person
carrying
for
the
the
whole thing.
entire. I'm doing all of the lifting when I don't want to be doing any of it, but nobody else.
But do you want to talk?
No.
Oh, because Jack was loving it. Jack
Oh,
was
Jack
loving
was
that
leading
conversation.
the
Or-
charge
yeah.
on it. Okay.
Or Jack is somewhere in Austin right now telling a story to one of his friends about how he was in this fucking annoying Uber ride with Gavin who wouldn't help out, and the Uber driver wouldn't stop talking, and Jack had to do all the heavy lifting.
Well, the best part is that I heard the conversation multiple times because Jack then retold the things he was talking to the driver about as more people arrived on this trip. So I was really beaten down by it. But yeah, I feel like, I don't know, I'm just not very chatty.
No, I agree.
I'm with you. I don't want to talk to people I know, let alone strangers.
So Andrew, Andrew, you're doing something wrong then because you're clearly giving a lot in response to the first few questions that lead them to believe you're a talker.
Well, it's just like some people, maybe it was like Jack was driving, essentially, where some people are talkers in that situation. And I would rather be uncomfortable talking to them than just like not acknowledging it at all and it turning awkward socially. So I just had to land that grenade and I kept waiting for the cavalry to arrive, the 4 people in the back seat, and nobody said a fucking word whole trip.
I guess
Just me.
I don't activate when there's a silence. Like I don't see a silence or like a lull in conversation as like an awkward thing to be filled. I love a group that I could just share a silence with.
Oh yeah, it's
It's
great
like a
thing.
stronger friendship almost.
But it's depending on the person, there might not be an acknowledgement that was like a choice or a decision. They might view that as like, oh, I just had the wrong approach. Let me try this. And then it could spiral. They could just keep on attempting to initiate. And it just, it's awkward. So awkward for me to just think about. This constant delays or just like not continuing that. I hate it. So I'd rather just jump in.
I think you secretly love it.
But that could just be my anxiety. That could just be me like anticipating that is a scenario that would happen when in reality, that's never how that's going to play out.
Well, I
But they
remember
would
we've
just be
tested
quiet
out.
after that.
We've tested out some silences on this show, and you've been very uncomfortable trying to fill them.
I feel like they need to be filled.
What, like this silence?
Yeah. See, I'm just talking. I don't even have anything to say. I'm just filling silence right now. That wasn't even a point. But it's also an anxiety thing, maybe. I've been ripping old like home videos. I got a thing that lets me convert it to my computer, which is partially maybe why I had technical difficulties in the last episode. And I'm watching stuff and I'm fine when I'm like a baby, when I'm like watching tapes of me like under the age of 1. I was getting anxious watching me at like 3 and 4 at Christmas, even though I have no ability to change the or not the conversation, but like the acts that are happening. I'm just watching going like, fucking don't screw up. Like, don't cause a nuisance. Like, don't, just relax, calm down. You don't need to be screaming right now. Why are you screaming? Why are you screaming? Don't grab that kid's toy. Like, don't cause problem. It's terrible. I hate
What is
it.
wrong with you, me?
Yeah, and that's the problem. I know how dumb I was, especially at that age, but I don't remember the actions that I did in that moment. So I'm just watching going like, you're a fucking idiot. You're going to cause problems for people. That kid is so excited.
Were you worried that you'd topple over?
No, wasn't worried about that.
Okay.
I figured that out later. I need to clip it so badly. There's a shot of me laying down when I'm like 7 months old and my fucking nose looks unbreakable even then. It stands out how unbreakable my nose is. Next time we record, I'll see if I can clip that and bring it to the show.
But surely a nose that stands out is more breakable.
No, trust me. You're going to look at it and go like, that's solid right there.
It stands out as structurally sound. Yeah.
Okay. Well, to be fair, every time I've seen you as a baby, I've been expecting a certain level of it, and then I'm absolutely gobsmacked with the result. So I believe you fully.
Do you think that the Vancouver child, obviously not Andrew, because there's no proof that Andrew is the Vancouver child kicker. Just a lot of really
hearsay,
heavy circumstantial evidence and hearsay. Do you think that maybe, I never got into the psychology of the VCK, but do you think it's possible that he or she or they might kick children because they're transcribing videos of themselves as children and there's a deep-seated self-hatred and they're not really kicking these strange kids on the street, but they're really kicking themselves?
Oh,
yeah, because they're not small enough to kick anymore, so they have to find some other vessel to kick.
Something to think about.
Yeah. Would the Vancouver child kicker, if they could go back in time, exclusively kick themselves? But they're limited due to technology.
It's like, it'd be like, that whole scenario, like if you could go back in time and shoot baby Hitler, would you? It'd be like if Hitler could go back in time and shoot himself as a baby, would he?
Why would he?
I don't think he would.
I mean, he shot himself later, right?
Yeah.
Did he?
He blew his brains out in a bunker.
I thought it was a pill. I thought it was a cyanide thing.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
How did he?
But there's always such dilemma with like, would you go back and blow baby Hitler's head off? But I mean, like, why not give it a try? Like, why wouldn't you do it?
Why not give it a try?
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't go any worse.
Are you saying that there's a large number of people advocating against killing Hitler?
Yeah, it's like the whole moral dilemma of the butterfly effect, that you could end up with, 16 Hitlers or something. I don't know.
But I don't think the phrasing of it, I think, is maybe, I don't think a lot of people are struggling over the choice of should Hitler have died. I think there's a consensus on that prior to.
So you would go back and off little baby?
Yeah, if it's Hitler, yeah.
And how are you doing it? Are you?
Well, I haven't thought about it. Jesus Christ.
Nah, he blew his brains out. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, April 30th, 1945.
I feel like it's always portrayed in
blew
like,
his shitty, racist Hitler little brains out.
What a weird conversation.
So I think my favorite part of the Vegas trip was that everybody was in bed by midnight every night. I like my friends. My friends were also go to bed early. I was a little scared that I would have to be up till like 4 a.m. trying to keep it rolling, and that was not the case.
It didn't help that I woke up at 5 the first day, but
I mean, it was, to be fair, that was the case for Jack. He was up gambling till like 4 a.m. every night. Like Saturday night when we all came home from Meow Wolf and went to bed, he walked down to Treasure Island and gambled for like 3 more hours.
He was mad that we all ended that craps game. I think we were all up, and then we just called it a day because it was getting close to 11:30 or something.
Oh right, we went to Celebration Station to gamble or whatever.
And he was not ready to leave.
Leave without. We just started walking away, just leaving without him.
We just backed away slowly. Well, here's why. Because there's this thing you can do in craps where you bet a full line. So you bet that you're going to roll the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 before you roll 7, which insinuates that you're going to be rolling for a long time. So I walked up to Jack and I said, "Hey man, everybody's tired. I think we're going to go home now." And Jack said, "Cool, man. Yeah, I'll join you." And then I watched him hit that and hit all the numbers at once as if to say, "I'm going to now do this." And so I just started backing away, and then I just went straight. I walked all the way outside and just got an Uber.
Then he had to run to meet us at the Uber because he crapped out. And then he's like, "Well, I want to ride back though." And then had to run to meet us as the car came.
And then we had to put 7 people in a Uber.
Yep.
That's why I changed the group chat name to Will Knees Patillo make the car in time.
But we should, because we teased it in the last episode, we should talk about the security incident at the basketball game, Geoff.
So my soon-to-be father-in-law Dwight is kind of a food explorer. He's like one of those dudes that likes to try out new stuff wherever he goes to, and he always like kind of looks up the cool thing or like the interesting foods and flavors at the place he's going to. He's a lot of fun to go to Italy with because of that. He's very adventurous. And so he discovered this place in Vegas. He's really into birria tacos right now. Like they're like his favorite thing. And he discovered this place in Vegas that sells birria tacos and birria bao buns, which is insane.
Now, what is a birria taco?
Eric, you could probably explain it better because you've had them longer. It's like a fried taco, I guess.
It's a taco, like more of like I don't want to say like hard shell because it's not necessarily a hard shell. It's a taco usually with beef, and then you dip it into like
shredded
cheese because it keeps it all together. And then you dip it into like, I guess, lack of a better term, like an au jus or like a stew. And so you're dipping these tacos in and getting a bite, and it has like, it's just like so much more flavor because you're getting so much in each bite.
Yeah, it's like a cross between a taco and a French dip.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty close.
Yeah, and so the idea of like this fusion birria bao bun was pretty fucking exciting. And so we were talking about wanting to figure out a way to go to that restaurant and get them. And because we had this nice little suite area that y'all set up for, or I don't know, whoever. Thank you so much for that, by the way. Where we like were behind the backboard and we had like access to like a table and sofas and like they had little hot dogs and shit you could have. It was actually kind of like what we did with the Brahmas, but a little nicer. And not that the Brahmas thing wasn't nice. I'm not insinuating that it wasn't. It was just, you know. So he just asked a lady that was working there who was like, I don't know, getting drinks and stuff. He said, "Hey, can we bring outside food and drinks in? We probably can't do that, right?" And she goes, "Oh, no, you can here. We don't mind." And he goes, "Really?" And she goes, "Yeah, it's not a thing here." She's like, "I know most places probably wouldn't let you, but we really don't care." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, she was like, staff do it all the time.
Yeah, he's like, staff do it all the time. And so he and I looked at each other and we're like, "What do you think?" And he was like, "I don't know." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know." So we asked a second person. And the other person told us the same thing. And so we were like, okay. So I Uber Eats a bunch of the birria tacos and birria bao buns to us. And then it took like an hour. And then we went and stood outside in 125 degrees in a parking lot and waited for him to show up, shit myself and passed out. And then when I came back around, we go to walk back in, go to the security entrance. And the guy goes, "What the fuck do you think you're doing?" And we're like, "Excuse me?" And he's like, "You can't bring outside food and drinks in here." And it was like aggressively angry at us. And we were like, "We got permission." And he's like, "From who?" And we're like, "I don't know. The lady that said we could do it and the other guy that said we could do it." And he's like, "Well, they're not me." And we're like, "Okay, man, you know, we're not trying to cause a problem here. They said that we could do it. They said it wasn't a big deal. We're in this NBA experience thing over there." And he's like, "Yeah, you can't do it." And he just kind of berated us for a minute, and it was kind of annoying. And, you know, Dwight and I are about to go like, "Okay, man, we'll just eat them outside. Fuck, it's not the end of the world, you know?" And the guy goes, "You know what? I'm going to let you in this time." And I was like, we're like, "This will be the only time, you know? We won't be back tomorrow." And so he lets us in, and we go and we sit down and we unpack the tacos on the table. And we start eating them, and 2 minutes in to eating them, like I've eaten one taco, the lady who told us we could bring them in comes over and goes, "You guys have to get rid of those tacos right now." And we're like, "What?" She's like, "They can't be out where people can see them." And we're like, "Excuse me?" She goes, "I got in so much trouble. You are not allowed to bring food in here. I was wrong. It's only for staff. They can't be visible. I got to take you guys to a special place to eat them because you can't have them here." And we're like, "What?" And so we start to package it all up.
I'm listening to this and I'm just stuffing my fat face. I'm just trying to get it all as much down as possible.
And we're like, "Okay, well, can you save our seats?" And she goes, "I can't do that either. If you leave, somebody else can take them." And we're like, because it's in like this little lounge area, and we're like, Ugh. So I was like, "You guys go eat the tacos. I had mine. I'll sit here and hold the space." And so they went and ate the tacos. The rest of the tacos, I only had one, and I just sat there by myself until they came back. Dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen.
They like stuffed us in the what was it? The like, NBA experience.
You're saying like they stuffed us in there that we couldn't even access that area with our like insane seats that were very, very good.
Yeah.
The NBA experience thing is like a whole other ticketed thing, and
They told us to go
walked
fuck
us back
ourselves.
there, and they went, "Yeah, just here, be here. You just sit
There,
here."
there were
This is
more
where you're at."
people around us in there watching us eat it than could see us eat in our seats.
And then, according to Dwight, y'all just stood over a trash can and stuffed your faces guiltily as quickly as you could.
Gavin's trying to send dong files again.
Ah,
but,
shit! Why are all my pictures dongs now? Is this one a dong?
Gavin's files are converting to sleep spaghetti.
That's a dong file also.
Shit!
This is really cool. People have been complaining that they're like, how come these guys just don't learn how to use Discord already? I fucking hate Discord and I refuse to learn it.
It's also the difference between we're using it on the desktop and our phones at the same time. And I'm sorry, but uploading
that one worked.
photos on phone to Discord.
Not a
is wild.
dong.
Why did you take a picture of the back of me?
You were really pissed off that the Uber driver was driving away from us
my
instead of picking us up, and it was 47 degrees, and I just thought that was the perfect pose.
This fucking woman refused to drive over to the pickup area and like would not do it. Drove around in circles. Security is like pointing her in. She is fucking ignoring them. There's no shade. It is 112 degrees, and I'm just standing in a fucking ditch surrounded by shrubs going, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?
What you can't see
Miserable.
is that there were about 12 people stood under the shadow of a tree. That's where I'm taking that from. We were all just like shuffling, trying to get off the out of the burning sunlight.
Miserable.
I've got a clip.
Miserable.
I've got a clip I can show
Oh,
You have a clip?
please do.
from Vegas. Let me see if I can share this window.
Is it going to be a dong video? Because I don't.
This might be dong actually.
While you're doing that, I'm going to upload a photo of the just of the place where we were at, just so
Okay.
Andrew can see.
The NBA experience?
Yeah.
It was, Andrew, it was really cool. It was,
It
the
sounds
Summer League was awesome.
Oh,
it was,
wow. What a view.
It was unlimited food, unlimited drinks. Like, it was fucking awesome. We posted up. It was great.
It was great. And you were like having a bunch of beers. I sucked down a couple of Bloody Marys.
I had every Diet Coke in the building. Actually, Diet Pepsi. They had Diet Pepsi.
Yep.
Oh,
It
and
was
then
great.
this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my fucking life.
That's the
the sphere.
Yeah, the new Madison Square Garden sphere thing.
Holy shit.
It was cool twice. Once when it was a basketball, and the other time when it was a moon, and we were driving back to the strip, and it felt like you were on another planet.
It looks so cool. Like the pictures don't do it justice. But I didn't
Insane.
realize how new it was. Like they've only turned it on in the
Yeah.
last month or so.
I would say it's about 3 weeks
Very
old,
recent.
maybe a month
Yeah.
old at this point. Is really
And one of our group asked the driver to go buy it so they could see it, and apparently it was off.
That was me. Dwight and I, we asked the guy, we said, hey, can you drive us by the sphere? We want to see it at night. And he goes, yeah, sure, man. I'll drive you by. No problem. It was on the way back on Saturday night. It's about 11 o'clock at night. So he swings by, he drives it back, and it's pitch black. It's off. And we go, oh, it's off. And he goes, oh, yeah, they turn it off at like 9 o'clock now. We're like, you motherfucker. Why did you fucking tell us that?
The moon was the coolest, I think.
Yeah, the moon was when we got done with Meow Wolf and we were leaving Area 15, which was very cool. Very cool place. Met a lot of people and everything.
We met a
It was
lot
really,
of cool
really nice.
people there.
Yeah.
Met the facilities manager there. That
Yeah.
dude was awesome.
Really, really cool. And then driving back to the strip, that thing was lit up so bright as the moon and rotating. It gave you like an uneasy feeling. It was
Yeah, like it
very,
looked-
very cool.
It looked quite real.
Did they still have the Gurple drink at Meow Wolf?
Yeah.
Yeah. I took
awesome.
a picture. I took a picture of these two with the Gurple drink. I'll drop it in here in just a second. But like,
Fantastic.
yeah, Vegas for Jeff's bachelor party. I don't have like enough time in the world to say how much fun I had. It was a
Me too,
blast.
man.
It was surprising. Jeff was so cool. Summer League was so cool. It was just so much fun.
The Summer
Yeah.
League photo looks like a disheveled version of the end of Ocean's 11. The way you guys are just like looking out at the table.
Yep.
Look at that photo of Jack with the planet behind them. How cool is that?
And then here's these two. They're Gurpin. They got big.
They're
They
Gurpin?
had big Gurple.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you have a clip, Gavin.
Yeah, if you want, you see my
Jealous.
stream? See it there?
Oh, there it is. Okay, here I come.
I see the back of Geoff.
Fuck you.
I'd merely said
Oh,
to Geoff, I merely said, you and Eric planned this? And Geoff was like, what are you talking about? I was like, your shirt, dude. And then Geoff was on a mission. He's trying to get a peek.
Okay.
You can't see.
All right, I'll change. I'll go change.
Yeah, you are. That's what you're doing.
Both wearing the bootleg Zimmer
Yep.
RTX shirt.
Oh, little face boys.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Heading out to Meowwolf. And they were like, oh, what if it's got changed? I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah. So nobody changed. So that's
Yeah.
fine. That would
Fantastic.
work. Yep.
So that was Eric and I for hanging out the rest of the night in the same shirt.
Yep.
I had a funny realization about RTX, the most recent one that we had. So like last year we sold grown tubes, right? And there are people in the company that complained of like, why are we giving the people their noise making devices? That's a terrible idea. I saw a post about how someone posted in our subreddit that one of the items we were selling this year for RTX was a pizza cutter, advising people if they bought one, you could not carry, like it could not go in your carry-on. You would have to check that bag to get it, which made me realize how dumb we are. We gave the audience noisemakers, the first RTX we did merch for. We armed the audience for the second RTX we did. We gave them knives. We just sold knives in the middle of the convention center. And there are no complaints about it. But I never thought about it until that point that we just armed everybody. I don't know if you could have entered RTX with a pizza slicer.
Yeah, I was thinking
but
if you walked out, would you be allowed back in with your
Yeah,
merch?
I don't know. I would love to know that. If someone tried to got blocked, that'd be hilarious. I never considered until after the fact that we allowed people to have weapons in the middle of the hall.
They would have just peace bonded it.
It's a knife. I'd never even
I know.
considered. It's like a sharp thing.
Yeah, it's a circular knife.
They just spray orange. Maybe next year we'll do like a mace or something.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Right. Cool.
That's a good idea. Bear spray.
It's sort of tiny explosive. Yeah.
Geoff, do you have any other Vegas notes?
I don't think so. Just that I had the best time of my life and that you all are wonderful and I love you dearly. And it was just
I'm
a
so
really
happy.
great time.
It was
Glad.
totally worth surprising you.
Oh, I did have I will say I think it was maybe Sunday night. Eric and I were hanging out in the, or maybe Sunday, I guess
Breakfast?
it was when you and I were hanging out in the sports book.
Oh, in the sports book. Yeah. Sunday morning.
And we sat down and we talked for maybe an hour and a half about face, and it was so much fun. We
we
just
got a lot
bounced around ideas and just got so many ideas and came up with a bunch of show concepts, and man, just that was a really that was really fun. That period.
Oh, it was great. Yeah.
Yeah, it really was.
Yep.
It was just like a really focused, relaxed time, and we were just it was one of those moments where just the ideas are flowing. You know, it was cool.
Yeah, that's great. We should do a thing, I was thinking, where we just have an idea pitch and make a document of concepts.
That's a great idea.
Because I feel like we have a lot of things that are kind of in the works, maybe in our head. On top of, I think we have content that we've forgotten about that we just haven't posted for later. But just we did a Does It Do season 2 thing.
Yeah.
That I forgot we did until the
Well, that has to come out after Does It Do season 2.
has to. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I'm just saying, I forgot that was even a thing we did until the other day. And I think that's good content.
I'm excited about that, actually. And I'm excited we will get to Does It Do here before too terribly long. I think it's in process now. So is that right,
Very
Eric?
exciting.
We'll be filming it by September, October, I think, right?
I hope so. Yeah, we'll see. This is a great question for someone else.
Okay, fair enough.
If it was up to me, we do it tomorrow. We have other stuff. You realize that we have Fuck Face Off coming soon.
Yeah.
We have to do
Yep.
that.
That's true. Well, we did some logo work today. That was fun.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah.
Did you guys see that report that pooping only every 3 or more days is linked with cognitive decline?
No.
Yeah. Which, if you think about it, so if you don't shit enough, you get dumber.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
I gotta be Einstein.
Yeah. No, you got to be up there.
I'm shitting 4 times a day right now. I gotta be the smartest dude on earth.
Here's the thing, though. you binge drank for years, which damaged the brain cells. So maybe you're actually just back at even because you're shitting so much. But the alcohol really fucked you. So if you didn't go through the alcohol thing, you would be Einstein. And unfortunately, that brought you to our level.
Yeah, so now I'm just getting back to normal.
Yeah. Now you're
I'm
where
shitting
we're
my
at.
way back to average intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I'll take that.
But you know
That's
what? You're
plausible.
looking really fucking cool doing it. You got the shades on. You look
I do.
great.
I do. I definitely wear my shit shades every chance I get.
The best way to learn a language is through immersion, living where the language is spoken natively and using it every day. But that's not possible for everyone. So what's the second best way to learn a language? Babbel. Because with Babbel, you can start speaking a new language in just 3 weeks. This summer, you can start speaking a new language with Babbel. Why Babbel? Because it works. Instead of paying hundreds of dollars for a private tutor or fooling yourself with language apps that are little more than games, Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons are designed by over 150 language experts to help you start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Babbel's designed by real people for real conversations. All of Babbel's tips and tools for learning a new language are approachable, accessible, rooted in real-life situations, and delivered with conversation-based teaching. They have such convenient courses that help you learn real-life conversation skills, the things that really matter. So it's easy to pick up on things like how to order food or ask for directions, speaking to merchants, without having to consult language apps while on vacation, which is something that nobody wants to do. Plus, Babbel's speech recognition technology helps you to improve your pronunciation and accent. If you can't pronounce a word, it's almost like not knowing it at all, in my opinion. Like it's so important to have those skills. Studies from Yale, Michigan State University, and others continue to prove Babbel is better. For instance, one study found that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a full semester at college. With over 10 million subscriptions sold, Babbel is real language learning for real conversations. Here's a special limited time deal for our listeners to get you started right now. Get 55% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/face. Get 55% off at babbel.com/face, spelled BABBEL.com/face. Rules and restrictions may apply. With the busy fall season around, it is so easy to give up on like making meals and doing that type of thing. And then you get takeout, and that's not nutritious. That's not ideal. And if you're someone who wants to stay on that nutritional path with great meals, let me tell you about Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. Are you too busy with your end of summer goals to cook, but want to make sure you're eating well? With Factor, skip the extra trip to the grocery store and the chopping, prepping, and cleaning up too, while still getting the flavor and nutritional quality you need. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes, so all you have to do is heat and enjoy, then get back to crushing your goals. Refresh your healthy habits without missing a beat. Choose from 34 plus weekly flavor-packed, dietitian-approved meals ready to eat in 2 minutes. This August, get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door. Ready in just 2 minutes, no prep, no mess. Head to factormeals.com/face50 and use code face50 to get 50% off. That's code face50 at factormeals.com/face50 to get 50% off. I'm really glad, Geoff, that you brought up that you're glad that all the other people, all the friends that went to outside of Jack, the Vegas thing, in bed early. Because I've been going through a I'm really fucking boring crisis a little bit. I had that for the first time.
Wait, you're saying that you're the most boring of us three?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm having a crisis and realizing how boring I am, which is something like I'm aware I'm boring, but then coming to terms with the specifics and the extent to which I'm boring has been alarming. Like I went into bed early the other night. I crawled into bed at 8:45, and I was so fucking excited to be in bed early because I had time to get cozy and have a good sleep. And since that point, I have been so excited about getting into bed early. It has completely shifted my schedule. I typically would stay up pretty late. Now I'm an early bed guy because it brings me genuine joy anticipating getting comfortable and then just having a good sleep.
But I feel like you've been sick recently.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. So getting sleep has been an issue. but it's normalizing. But I've just been so excited about it. So maybe you're right. Maybe that will go away. What won't go away is we had a conversation in the past about when our childhood experience died, when we could no longer, I used to pretend that I was a knight on a battlefield fighting guys and like with the sword and run around. And then we just couldn't do that anymore. And we lost a part of ourselves. I realized the other night, I didn't lose it. It's just really fucking boring now. I lay in bed pretending it's raining. I listen to rain and pretend it's raining outside, and I imagine that, and that is as deep as my imagination now gets as an adult. There are no more battles. There are no more wars. All I do is pretend it's raining outside. I'm imagining weather. I stink. Like, that sucks. That's so fucking boring.
Dude, embrace the boring. It's like a warm, boring blanket. I love it.
Does it make you feel worse when it's actually raining? Because then technically you're not imagining anything. It's just what's really happening.
That would, yeah. I'd be lost if it actually rained. I guess now, like, I'll pay attention to it. I don't know what I'll do. Maybe I'll like listen to a beautiful warm beach when it's raining outside. Maybe I have to change the weather.
Just a beach or just the sea?
Yeah, just like an ocean, like a wave sound. Okay. And like I imagine, because like it's not like, when you hear rain, like I'm adding my own visuals to what that is. I just do the same for waves, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I realized that like, no, it's not that I've stopped like pretending things. I'm just pretending weather now. And that sucks.
That's such a sad realization.
Yeah, I was lying in bed. I couldn't sleep. I was like, I'm boring. I'm so goddamn boring. Pretending weather.
I don't know, man. I think it sounds awesome.
So are you bummed when you wake up though? Are you like, oh, I don't get to be comfortable anymore?
No, because I get excited about getting comfortable that evening. I immediately
you already
like the anticipation. Yeah, by 11, I'm fucking excited. I'm gonna crawl in the bed. I got my AirPods all charged up because of you, Gavin. I got the cable. I'm all ready to go if I want to get the rain going. I'm situated.
We're the complete opposite. I wake up and I'm so excited that there's so much of the day left. And when the day's running out, I'm just like, oh.
Well, no, I'm not. Listen, I'm not giving up on the day. I'm excited about the day, but I'm anticipating that late night getting cozy as well. I'm pretty excited about it.
Are you thinking about that before breakfast?
I'm not a big breakfast guy. I typically will go straight to lunch. So that's a tough.
Straight to lunch as in you'll have lunch at like 10, or you just won't eat breakfast?
I just won't eat breakfast most of the time. Yeah, because I wasn't into cereal because I didn't drink milk as a kid, and so it's just like I'm not an eggs guy. So it's like breakfast is not a great meal for. I love waffles, but no, that's a anytime food.
Getting into bed and laying in bed is so fucking nice and comfortable that I'm like, most nights I'm sitting in my living room watching TV and it's like 8:15 and I'm like, it's too early. And I have to force myself to stay in the living room till 9 so I can just go lay in bed and watch TV for another 45 minutes before I fall asleep. There's nothing better than ending the day in a comfortable horizontal position in your bedroom.
Yes.
Ugh. And I wake up excited about the day, just like Gavin does. I'm excited about every aspect of it, from just getting to be alive and to do the day to very excited to get to be in bed.
The only problem with it for me, and it's a time zone issue, I get into bed now at like, let's say 9ish or 9:30 at the very latest. And I get all cozy, I get all comfortable. And then I'll go through a thing of like, I want to check in on my friends. I want to see how Geoff is doing and Gavin's doing. It's 11:30 for you guys. And this is like, it's too late. I'm not going to text you at 11:30 at night just to say hi. Like, it's past the time.
You can
I'll
text
answer you in the morning when I wake up.
I can text you whenever. Okay, well, then I'll start doing that. Because genuinely, I'd say almost every day of the week, I think like, I really want to check in with you guys, but it'll be like 8:45.
Are you worried about like waking us up?
Yeah, I don't want to disturb you in some way. I just feel like there's a cutoff time for like a text or
there's not a cutoff time for this level of friendship. I may not respond to you, but it won't be because I'm annoyed. It'll just be because I'm sleeping.
Okay.
Yeah, my phone goes do not disturb when I'm charging it, which is pretty much only when I'm asleep.
Yeah.
That's great. Does your phone have a nighttime setting, a dim setting?
Yeah.
Like where it changes shade for like night?
Yeah, it like goes yellowish so it doesn't cause some chemical in your brain.
I don't know how to turn that off, so mine just goes from 4 a.m. to 4:01 a.m. I had to
That's the
update my
shortest
phone
night in the
recently.
world.
Yeah, well, I don't want it. My screen one night, I don't know how I turned it on. I was like, oh fuck, my screen is orange. Everything is orange. I couldn't figure out what was going on, and then I learned that it was a nighttime thing, and so I don't know how to turn it off. But I was able to set it to only last 1 minute, where I'm ideally not awake from 4 to 4:01 a.m.
So you never benefit from it.
I never benefit. Well, is there? I don't think there's a benefit at all for me. I don't need it to be orange. I'll just dim it, and I just fall asleep.
Well, I think it's like the blueness is what keeps you up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you're looking at the bluish whites at
Is
night,
that real?
I have no idea.
Yeah, because I feel like there are glasses, right, that like block the blue. I just assumed
Yeah.
all of that is not real.
Depending on who our sponsor is this week, yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, you could get actually a pair of glasses that work between 4 a.m. and 4:01.
I will look into those then. And maybe I will use our promo code depending on what the sponsor is of this week and get a great discount.
Thank you.
Was it annoying, Eric, when I kept ordering everything that you ordered?
No, it was just something that I noticed.
Oh,
It was it just seemed like a thing that you went like, ooh, and me too. And it was it was very funny.
I respect that you didn't feel pressure in that scenario, Eric, because I would start feeling pressure.
Why?
If
I
I
don't give
were
a
you.
fuck what Gavin gets. I don't care if he likes it.
I would see that's where we differ. I would feel like I got to bring the bangers out if I know he's copied everything I do. I can't have a weak drink or like food item in the lineup.
None of my orders are ever weak to begin with, so I never have any like worry that they're not all bangers. I'm ordering stuff that's good as hell.
There are no mid-tier drinks that you sometimes enjoy?
Like what?
I mean, I didn't follow you with the beers. I went Bloody Mary.
Well, yeah.
There you go. Okay.
See,
So
I
this
would
is
have gone
better.
I would have gone the other direction. I would have ordered the grossest fucking thing possible to try to trick him into like a cement mixer or something.
Ooh, what's in that?
It's like this drink. It's like milk and
It,
something
like,
else, and you
yeah,
drink it, and it like
solidifies,
turns
right?
to it turns solid in your mouth. It's
Yeah,
fucking
it's
gross.
awful.
Oh, geez.
Somebody gave it to me on my
Hannibal.
21st birthday.
It's like Bailey's and lime juice, isn't it? Because it like
Something,
curdles.
Yeah.
it curdles
Yeah,
in your mouth.
exactly.
It's fucking
Yeah.
hideous.
That's what it
Do you know about that, Gavin?
No.
Yeah. Do you want to do cement mixers?
is.
Yeah, maybe afterwards I can try and stuff it into a glove.
It's not enough. It's not enough alcohol to get you drunk, but it will taste bad.
Yeah.
So
I would give it a go.
Yeah. Bad. Gross. Yuck.
Ugh.
Speaking of gross, I had a realization yesterday at the grocery store that I think might lead to, I don't know how, but I think it might lead to benefits for us.
Ooh.
I realized in the produce section that there are fruit combinations that nobody has made yet.
Okay.
Have you ever in your life, like you're used to it, you see like strawberry mango,
Yeah.
cherry banana, like whatever.
Kiwi strawberry.
Kiwi strawberry is a great one. You've never seen, and we could invent the drink, the slushy, the candy, whatever it is. You've never seen lemon grape.
No. No, I haven't.
It doesn't exist.
No.
Nobody's ever
That's a
thought to
great-
combine it.
That's a
It's
great.
like how there's never a bluish yellow. Like it just can't happen.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
Lemon grape.
we could, if we can figure out the ratio, we could revolutionize the fruit industry by unleashing lemon grape.
Do you think orange banana is something?
Orange banana could be something.
Uh,
That's
It
kind of
sounds
like,
it being some sort of like tropical juice.
orange banana is kind of
Yeah.
like it's kind of like what an orange Julius is, right?
I feel like orange banana
Just a
only
smoothie.
shows up for the Avengers of juices. You know, like where there's like 7 different fruits in a juice when they do like the full mix. There's an orange and a banana, I feel like, on the roster there. But you're
Yeah.
never just going to see the two of them by themselves together.
Mm-mm. You know what else you'll never see together? Grape watermelon.
Grape water.
I think grape is a hard one to combine with other
Yeah,
fruits.
I think you might
Yeah.
be right.
We got to write these down.
Lemon is so strong and grape is so strong. If you can figure out how to make them work together, I bet you could fucking disrupt the whole fruit industry.
Grape
It sounds like
grape
there's not a lot
coconut,
of. Oh, wow.
I'm all about grape coconut.
Right?
You think grape might be difficult to work with? It sounds like they're not collabing with a lot of the other fruits.
I think that grape is such a. It's see, like Gracie just dropped a picture of watermelon grape juice, and that
I've
seems,
never.
that is crazy.
I bet it's
That
good.
is crazy.
I bet it's so good.
But I guess you could probably do. I'm trying to think of like what would go with grape in general. Like pear would probably
Ugh.
would go well with grape.
Grape
know.
pear. That's interesting.
Grape
Yeah.
pear. Yeah.
Grape
like
mango.
grape, like lemon grape is such a you know,
You could call grape mango. You could call it grango
you could, you know what? You could call it grango.
or mango.
Yeah.
No, Grango is. You nailed it the first time. I need to get the popsicles out again.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I think that there might be some lab work that could be done in the next
Wow.
couple weeks
Ooh.
amongst all of us, really, if we wanted to. Anybody that was so inspired to start thinking about combining non-traditional fruit flavors into ways that might work with us. Work for us.
I mean, Gavin has the glove. I got some spaghetti to work with. This sounds like a perfect lab
I'm
task
totally
for you
fine.
to take on, Jeff.
I'll take it on by myself. That's fine.
I like the idea
I'm
of
just saying
having
I won't
like a
I won't be
monthly-
offended if anybody has an idea and tries it out.
I like the idea of a monthly lab report.
Notes from the lab.
Face sciences.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll get on that. Let me write myself a note.
Dragon
that-
fruit
yeah.
rarely
Sounds
makes
like
it
you
into the flavors, does it?
It's true.
Even though it's
Oh.
Andrew's
Or
pick. Like, there's
kiwi.
no dragon fruit and grape.
You know, I'd never had dragon fruit until
Drapes.
recently.
Uh-huh.
I had it in a drink.
Ugh.
Delicious in a drink. Don't know by
Ooh.
itself. Had a real crunch to it, though, that I appreciated.
I
Did
just
you
set
What
myself-
put
what
the
does
dragon
that
fruit
mean?
in?
No, like I ordered a drink that had it, and it was chunks of dragon fruit in the drink.
Jesus.
And
I just got to send myself the best email of my life. It just the
Yeah?
subject line is just combine fruits in the lab.
Why'd you send it as
That's-
an email?
That's how I send
great
myself
email.
notes.
yeah.
You could use notes.
I do notes for like show notes and stuff, but I want to like give myself a to do thing. I
Okay.
email it to myself and then I keep it bold. And then when I look at the email, I see like my to do list essentially. Anything that's bolded, I need to do.
You don't email yourself, Gavin?
I email myself documents sometimes if Google Drive's being a piece of shit and Discord doesn't work.
That's fair.
But I don't talk to myself on email.
I can't believe you can't make Discord work. You suck.
Dude, I'm posting dongs left and right.
Why don't you know what bobas are different? Oh, Gavin, do you have any notes for this for our episode recordings?
What do you mean? Like, do I have anything
I thought that you had notes that you wanted to get to for the show.
for this show?
You said that like 2 episodes ago, right?
Yeah. Yes.
But that was the lab stuff. I think it was the lab.
I-
He-
okay.
I thought it was lab stuff, but I thought he had Vegas stuff. I thought he had more notes. That's why I asked. I was trying to tee him up. Hey, that's my mistake. I'm sorry. Won't happen again.
Is there any Vegas stuff that you didn't cover, Gav?
I've got Jeff's farts. I think I've got everything on there. Oh, I don't like the new thing on planes where you can put your phone in the seat in front of you. That's like the
Why?
standard now instead of having screens, because the freaking idiot behind me leaves it on vibrate and he's getting so many messages. It's vibrating my freaking head and it's not a problem I ever saw coming. We need like a dampened seat because my freaking head's rattling.
No, I'm with you now. I didn't understand that.
Dude.
So instead of having pre-built screens, they expect you to clip your phone into
Well,
the
I
back
think
of the
that's
seat.
fine. I mean, that cuts down on weight, I guess. Nobody's watching those screens anymore anyway. Everyone's watching shit on their iPads.
Oh, I'm a big screen guy. No, I need the screens.
No, they're
I rely on
gone,
the
dude.
screens.
They're out of
You
place.
just
No.
connect to the Wi-Fi and it's on your device.
No.
You don't miss them. You won't miss it. I promise.
No,
you.
I will. I will miss them.
No, it's better. It's better on your phone because that way, if it's on your little table when you eat, crumbs go all over your phone while you're trying to watch Ozark.
What,
Dude.
wait, that's supposed to make me feel better about this? I don't understand. I just had a built-in screen taken away from me. You said, "Don't worry, crumbs will fall on your new one." Are you
Yeah,
saying
I was
because
saying
I'm clipping it?
why sometimes it sucks.
Yeah, but I
when
wasn't
there's
doing
no
that.
Screen
No,
and
but I
there's no
didn't do
clip.
that. But I didn't do that to begin with. I would just not. I just look out the window. I'm gonna be a window guy, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm not
well,
gonna
watch out
use
for
my
turkey
phone
sandwiches.
that
That's
way.
all I'm saying.
I will.
You're gonna just look out the window?
Yeah, as
You're
I
just gonna-
said.
you're gonna
You've got a
raw dog
fucking
the
phone.
ride and look out the window?
Dude,
don't-
some people just stare at the freaking flight map for the whole flight. There's so many people who do that. Have you noticed that? They literally just stare and watch the plane fly over the land.
Yeah,
Yeah,
by
I
the
can
way,
do that.
that's a level of boring that we're not going to get to.
Oh no, I'm already there.
Andrew,
I
you're not
dabble.
there.
I dabble in the plane map. I don't mind the plane map.
You check in
I
with
could-
the plane map, but you're not going to sit there and watch it for the entire film. Well, you're not
Here's
going to
the
watch
thing.
it at all because you'd have to navigate to it on your phone, and you won't do that.
Well, no, well, yeah. Now it's gone. The plane map might as well have never existed in my life if I have to pull it up on a phone to be able to see it. I'm really good at just sitting somewhere and turning my brain off and just looking
Yeah,
at
imagining
nothing.
rain.
Yeah, thinking about the rain, thinking about all sorts of things.
It's not too silent for you. You don't have to like fill the air.
No, I don't. I can live in that. You and I would be great in an Uber ride. Just complete silence.
Well, it sounded like we were once, and you got pissed off.
No, we've never been in an Uber ride
That's
together.
a lie.
Dude, watching how hard it was.
Caleb drove us.
Oh,
What are
okay.
you talking about? You don't even remember it.
Watching how hard it was for you to sit with the silence earlier when Gavin was testing it, I think you're the Uber driver that doesn't stop talking.
No, I would be the Uber driver that never talked. This is
I
different.
don't
There's
buy that.
different contexts.
I don't buy
Okay,
that.
if this is we're doing a podcast, then yeah, I feel like I need to fill.
I think you'd be like, oh, they're in my car. I want them to have a good time. I want them to know that I'm a friendly Uber driver. I want them to enjoy. I know a lot about the area that we're in, so we're going from point A to B. I'll tell them some of the highlights on the route, and then before you know it, you talk the whole time. And but they
No.
probably had a lovely time.
No, I wouldn't. I'd be very quiet. I'd be terrified if they initiated.
One of my non-Vegas notes was something that I think we should get into. You know how like software is like on the computers and the computer is the hardware, and if you have like a device that you update the firmware. I watched a video and I learned about that they were like using I don't know what they're doing. They had like neurons. They were using like rat meat to try and like play Doom or something. They were like a bunch of like rat brain matter or something. I don't know what it was, but they were calling it wetware. And I was like, oh, Face needs to get into wetware somehow because I just love that.
That's so gross, dude.
Okay.
That's so gross.
Well, I like the idea of wetware, but you don't know what it is the problem.
Well, I
Like,
didn't. It
It's
seemed
like-
to be a bunch of like goo, like cells that they had to feed that would sit on top of like a little circuit board, and it would like stimulate different neurons. But it was like like an interface that they had to put food on
Oh,
because I think it was
Okay.
like rat goo or something.
well, what I can say definitively is shocks will not be wetware because
Oh,
you
okay.
your toes. You can't. You want to get them wet. Want to keep them warm, dry. We can do wetware.
Yeah, I think it's worth exploring.
Not what you're describing, but like we
Yeah,
could do a thing called wetware.
I don't want anything to do with rat goo or
Yeah, I
rat
don't-
brains.
Andrew, you don't
You're
think
the rat guy.
you don't think you can play Doom with rat flesh?
Um,
Kind of like you did with grapes?
do I have to show my hands while doing it?
You have to use long sticks. You have to show your hands wetware style.
Or is that you? I was thinking about that later, Geoff. You once told me that Gavin is always adding one more thing. He's a great one more, like a one addition thing, and that was a classic one more thing. I didn't see it
Absolutely.
coming.
You didn't see that coming?
I didn't see you doing a one more thing. No, that's on me.
I feel like ideas are open to brainstorming up until we're doing them. You can always,
Yeah,
you can
but-
always add shit. You can always adapt.
You can. It's just it feels the way you do it feels like that's been in the chamber the whole time and you just waited to drop it.
I'll be honest. Sometimes it was an assumption from the beginning. Like, of course you would film your hand. It's a funny
Why would-
stick.
Well, it's not. But it's not a funny stick now. It's just a little stick.
It's
a
funny.
Slightly, it's
Well,
a
it'll
slightly
get
larger
funny.
stick.
It'll get funny.
Okay.
It's going to get funny fast.
Well, we'll see. See how good I am.
How many
That was another thing.
How many different
that got
sticks
delayed.
is it?
9, I
9.
believe.
Okay, so like 9 inches.
Nice.
Each one's an inch.
When
Yeah.
does it get funny to you? when might the camera come on?
I think. Well, I'm not. Once
Because it
again,
sounds
you're
like there's a funny window where it's
There is.
it's big enough to be funny, but it's not big enough that you have to use your chin and can't film it. So that,
1 second. Let me grab him. Let me find him.
I'll be honest. I think it's funny right now. Just trying
Yeah.
to figure out when it's funny, but whatever.
Let me pull this because you're asking the Dinklages guy. I don't know, measurements very well. Just saying them, so I'm pulling out the sticks. I'd say this one is when it gets funny.
I can't
The,
see it.
I mean, it would be really cool if you were filming your hands while you did this. That's all I'm saying.
Fuck! I'd grab the smallest ones that are an inch. What's the second?
So the
They're inch,
smallest
right?
ones is when it's funny?
No, they're just on a controller on the other side of my desk, and I'd use them to measure when it got funny, so I could say the inch. Let me reach. Okay.
It's
So
always,
they're not funny. They're just a tool of measurement to find funny.
Yes. No, the 1 inch ones are not funny. But
I just want to point out, if you're at home listening to this and you're going, fuck, I really want to see this. So do we.
2. 3.
Yeah, welcome to our world.
Yeah, I didn't realize when I stuffed them into an envelope, it'd be the last time I'd ever seen it.
6 inches. Gets funny at
6 inches.
6 inches.
Are you serious? It's funny at least at 2.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Okay. You could maybe sell me at 3. 2 more.
All right, I'll take 3.
right.
I'll take between 3 and 8 inches.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It does get funny. I will admit that. I'll concede that point.
Thanks.
How
welcome.
benevolent of you.
Yeah. So what works? What was that?
Oh man, I will say we had a conversation at breakfast that I kind of wanted to get your take on, Andrew.
Okay.
When we were at in Vegas, I think maybe Kent, my soon-to-be brother-in-law, brought this up. But do you think you've ever been somebody's last straw?
Well, I asked Eric about whether he'd been anyone's last straw.
Yeah, that was where it came from. Then.
Oh man, have I directly been? Does it count if I'm in the group of people that was
Yeah.
someone's last straw? Okay, but I didn't do it, right? Like, does this qualify? I was in a bunch of me and the neighborhood kids were riding our bikes, and there was a guy that was like graveling his house, like his front yard, and one of the kids decided to use his pile of gravel as a ramp, and so they drove up it. And then like rode it back down, and then we rode down the street a little bit, and that was definitely that man's last straw. He did not enjoy it. He had enough. He grouped us all up and he screamed at us from the top of his lungs, and I just remember him yelling that he was gonna blast our ass with a hose so hard it would shave it, and I was just crying because I was like 4 and I didn't like loud noises, and this guy is screaming. I just want to go home because I would never drive in the guy's gravel pile, but I was part of the group. I was in the bike ride.
And you didn't
So
want
that
to get your
was-
ass blasted.
Yeah, that was definitely that last straw. My cousin once chased me around, and I stood in front of my grandparents' back door because it was all windows. And I'm like, he's not going to shoot me if I stand in front of all the windows. And then like the window went, pah! It was like, wah! He shot a rock at me, even though I was in front of the windows. And I heard my grandpa go like, whoa! And I panicked. I just ran as far away from the door as I could. And he yelled at my cousin, and then he looked at me, and it's the maddest I'd ever seen him. And I just said, I didn't do anything. And he yelled back, I know! But he was still just as... That was his last straw. So well, I don't know if I've ever been anyone's last straw, but I've certainly witnessed people on their last straw. I'll have to think about that. I'm sorry I don't have a better.
No, it's
direct
okay.
answer
It was
like you.
just thrown at you, you know.
Yeah. No, I don't think I have been anyone's last straw. But
Gavin or
I'll
Eric,
think
do you
about
guys think you've ever been someone's last straw?
I would think probably. I just don't know the situation but I would assume just through me being myself. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No, I agree. Dude, listen, I'm reasonably certain that there could be a Facebook group of people that I have been their last straw. Like they're like just in the army alone. Like the 5 years that I was in the army, there's probably a dozen people I was their last straw. I
would guess that Eric caused me to walk away from the booth a couple of times at conventions.
Probably.
But they
yeah.
it wasn't the it was it was one of the straws, but it wasn't the last one. It was just like the final straw of that day, and then I loaded up with new straws for the next one.
Loaded up new straws.
I remember the time when I was in high school and my friend Shane and I would sit in his roof and wait till the end of the day when the construction crews would leave. I think I've told this story before. They were building a neighborhood right behind his house, and we would run out there at night and take all the cinder blocks and build a wall leading in, like at the road going into the neighborhood. So then the night security guard would have to drive in and then take the blocks down and then throw them off on the side of the road so that he could do his security patrol. And then after he would leave, we would put him back up, and then he would have to come and tear him down. And eventually he just stopped doing the security patrol. We did it to him for like 2 weeks, and then he just gave up.
I remember deciding that a friendship was over because someone else was he did like someone that was the last straw. He was like my neighbor when I was growing up, and he was really disgusting. He just used to do really gross stuff. And at one point he was eating a load of bourbon biscuits, and he just put like 2 of them in his mouth, and he just kept chewing them, and he wouldn't swallow it until it was just a brown liquid, and he started gargling with it.
Ew.
And I just immediately thought, I just don't want to be friends with you anymore. I always threw up.
And yet here we are.
He also had there was a type of crisp called it was called Skips, which is like a prawn flavored crisp, and he used to pour milk in the bag and eat them with a spoon, and it would slop. I think this guy's the reason why I hate soggy stuff, because I watched like wet Skips flop off his spoon back into the bag while he had a mouthful of gargled bourbons. Horrible.
Nick's right. That's the origin of your issue.
I think it is.
You've gotten to the bottom of it. Do you think if you could go find that guy and let him know how much that affected you, you could reclaim wet bread?
I'm friends with him on Facebook.
You got to tell him. It's the only way you can. It's the only way you can ever eat French dip soup. Or what is it called? French onion soup. That's it.
Yeah.
French onion.
Well, a French dip is a thing, isn't it?
That's true.
I just remembered that I was my grandma's last straw twice, and it was both fair related occurrences. One was she took my cousins and my cousins were more aligned with Geoff, I would say, in causing mischief, and I was just trying to be good, but they were just monsters the entire trip, and we had to go to Vancouver, so like get on a boat and then go across, and they were just fucking up everything the entire trip, and it was burning her out. And then on the way back on the ferry ride, there was a gift shop, and I had money left over. I didn't spend all my money when I was at the fair. I'm like maybe, I don't know, 7. And I was looking around the gift shop, and they had a pocket knife. They had a little pocket knife, and I bought it. And she viewed that as me buying a blade, much like our pizza slicer. And she was so mad at me that I bought a knife on the boat. And she just yelled at all 3 of us, nobody move. And we weren't allowed to move or talk the rest of the trip on the way back. That was that. That was definitely her last straw.
She tried to put real life on pause.
She did. Yeah. She put real life on pause. And it was like a thing of like, do I give back the pocket knife? Like it was a whole thing. And then another time after that, she didn't bring them back. It was my different cousin and they were banned. She was never going to go on a trip with them again. So it was my other cousin who was not as rambunctious. And you know that ride that's like a UFO and it spins you and like you go up the wall, you're like
the Gravitron
or whatever. Yeah, the Gravitron. I did that like 4 times in a row. And then I realized that the stamp that was on my hand, like it got removed in that process. And that's how like you'd go on rides. But I was kind of done with the day. And I pointed out like, oh, my stamp is gone. And my grandma interpreted that as like me wanting another stamp so I could go on rides. And it's the middle of summer, so it's super hot. And we're walking around and we go to the first place to get a stamp and they didn't have any. And then we went to a second booth across the park and their ink was out. So then we had to go to a third booth across the park. And I finally got my hand restamped. And she's like, well, what ride do you want to go on now? And I said, I'm good. Like, I'm ready to go. I don't want to go on anymore. And she just yelled like, why did we do all that? What was the point of any of that? And I was like, I never said I wanted to. I thought like I was doing this because I thought you wanted to. And that was that. She was done. She was fed up. That was the last time we went to the fair. I went 2 years in a row, never again.
Speaking of what was the point of any of that and being done, this seems like a great place to end episode 166. And like Andrew's grandma, I'm sure you yourself were wondering, what was the point of the last hour or so of my life? I don't know. Maybe you'll come in, you'll tune in next week to find out. We'll see.
Can I ask one question before we go?
Please do.
Did y'all know that Oppenheimer made the atomic bomb?
Yeah.
Before the movie came out?
How can I save my little boy from Oppenheimer's deadly toy?
Okay. I don't even know what that is. I'm sorry for asking that question. To end the episode, we should have ended 30 seconds.
Did you not?
Yep, I agree. 100%. Bye.
I didn't know.
Hey guys, Major League fan Jack here with a look at next week's episode of Face. The gang invents a new game. Penn is in the food lab. Sleep Spaghetti version 2. The most horrible merch is on the way. Grady Dick is looking good, and once again, Andrew does not eat the pencil. All that and more on next week's episode of Face.